Well, greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is still doing well, and welcome to this night ending bonus upload. Before we jump into it, a couple links. As many of you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below. Merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support the channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It doesn't cost a cent. Click the like button, takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all these things really do help the channel to continue to grow and go. And yes, folks, they definitely do matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump into this night-ending bonus upload, shall we? Today's first encounter. Hey guys, typing from Trenton, Ontario. I'm currently scared shitless. There's been so many occurrences of this stuff happening, but today was just not it. I decided I wasn't going to sleep for school the following morning, as I do sometimes. But tonight I had a very, very odd vibe coming from my room's window. I'm usually not the type to be frightened by my window, but today I just couldn't look at it. And there was a haunting feeling coming from it. I kind of brushed it off today, so I called a friend on Discord and played some video games. Where I play video games, the window is directly behind me, and I can generally hear what's going on behind me. About every 10 minutes, I would hear a clicking noise. 2 clicks, to be precise. My room is on the 2nd story, and there's no trees relatively close enough to create that noise. So each time I heard it, I would sort of try to make an excuse for it. Oh, it's just a squirrel or something. Or, maybe it's water. But after listening carefully each time, I came to notice that it was most definitely not any of those. Later on, around 4 in the morning, my friend left the call to sleep. I was just sort of vibing, watching TikToks, and then I started hearing rapid tapping. The tapping was so mortifyingly human that I froze and continued listening to the tapping. I then recognized a 5-finger tapping pattern. I was so horrified I sat there for maybe 15 minutes straight, not looking anywhere but exactly where I froze. After calming myself down and finally letting myself breathe, I got up, not making eye contact with any wall or window, and I went to a room with no windows and vibed for a bit. I finally went back to my room at around 5 in the morning. I went and lied in bed, and as soon as my head hit the pillow, I heard a muffled howling, barking coming from my forest. Usually I'd just brush it off as my neighbor's dog Layla, but it didn't sound like a dog. It didn't sound like Layla. It couldn't be wolves or coyotes because they never cross a certain part of the forest, which is surprisingly closer to the 401 highway. At this point, I was really freaked out, and I just tried to continue my morning. That's where the odd stuff ends for the night. But that was definitely not the first time this shit has happened. We have a really old house. My parents think it's ghosts, as they've heard things mocking them. Weird laser lights being pointed around in our house, whispering, black shadows hovering over my crib, and an old British lady calling out names. See, I agree with that, but I think the thing lurking in the forest by my window is different. Another weird thing that I found is when we redid the insulation for my room, drywall underneath the insulation was 50s clothes, old newspapers, and weird-ass signs like pagan spray painted in black, and a goat's head and a bunch of gibberish words.
We covered it up, but it sort of haunts me to know what lies beneath that wallpaper. Today's second encounter. Hey gang, so I live in an apartment in northern Michigan, and this happened 10 years ago. It was early summer. My pug woke me up around 2 in the morning to go to the bathroom. While I was standing out with him as he was doing his business, I noticed that the neighbors across the way were having a party. But the sounds were muffled as their windows must have been closed. I found this odd. It was a weeknight, and surprised the neighbors weren't complaining of the noise. There was a group of 5 people standing across in the parking lot. I thought nothing of it until I realized these people were really tall and thin. So tall and thin that it was not normal at all, so of course I was staring in their direction. They noticed me staring, and 4 of them bolted to the right into the darkness, while the other one ran to the left, running behind a building and under a streetlight. I could see it very well. Not only super tall and skinny, but ran unnaturally fast and awkward. Then I heard what sounded like a wolf howl, and as they dispersed, the party sound immediately stopped. Of course, my pug and I ran back inside and locked the doors. I've witnessed many paranormal events and have no problem sharing details with others, but not this event. It was way too odd, and I still have no clue what it was. Today's third terrifying encounter. Rome, Ohio, June 28, 1981. As it got late, the family saw forms moving around their wood line. Upset, the family put their youngest boy on a tractor and drove out into the field. As they did this, they noticed out back a black form, waving back and forth, some sort of dark blue light. One family member prepared to shoot at this form, but as he did, the light went out and the figure vanished. They continued on out into the clearing with the tractor. As they did, they began seeing forms and glowing red eyes. They opened up with their guns and used full 2 boxes of 12-gauge slugs. One of the creatures was standing near water pond and was apparently hit. It fell to the left of the pond, going down on its stomach. At this point, its red glowing eyes were observed to go down on the ground on the side of the pond, with the black form. The witness kept shooting at the creature on the ground. Suddenly, 2 more sets of glowing red eyes were observed, coming up to one on the ground from the woods in the back. The family started firing at these as well. One set of glowing red eyes form took off into the west. The other took off to the east. Frightened, the family members ran back to the house for safety. In the process, they lost sight of the one on the ground. They stayed around the house the rest of the night, every once in a while seeing forms running on the wood line. Later, ground disturbances and 3-toed footprints were found in the area of the wood line. Today's fourth encounter. First, I'd like to start off by saying this story is 100% true. I swear on my life I saw this with my own 2 eyes. I'm not some sort of troll or someone trying to make a name for themselves. I just want to see if anyone else has seen anything like this or encountered anything like this. This was something that happened to me when I was young, around 5 years old. I remember it so vividly, but I'm not the only one who remembers it. My father does as well, because he was there. We were out camping in a campsite near Vienna, Virginia. I can't remember the exact campsite. All I know is that we were either in Vienna or near. I remember I was in my tent with my dad. It was just the 2 of us, and I saw a figure outside. My dad saw it as well, so he grabbed a bat for protection and went outside. I looked out of the slightly unzipped tent, and what I saw was the most terrifying thing I'd ever seen. It was a creature, not very tall, maybe 4.5 feet. It was dark outside, so I couldn't really see well. All I saw, it was black, but it didn't have fur. It had yellowish white eyes, a tail, goat-like legs, kind of slanted squinty eyes, humanish teeth, and it had its arms positioned like a T-Rex. It kind of looked like a cat, but it was standing on two legs. My dad just stood there with a shocked look on his face. But then, I kid you not, it went gack, 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 screaming in a high voice, and ran away flapping its arms. I know it sounds funny and ridiculous, but it was a terrifying being there. We immediately packed up, and while we were packing, we could just see it lurking in the woods, watching us. It was the scariest thing I had ever encountered. We think it may have followed us home because my brother heard baby steps in his own house, and he saw something black run very fast by him. The window was open, but after that he never saw anything again. I honestly don't know what it was. I do remember my grandfather telling me stories that he would always see a woman with goat legs in the woods. I 100% believe him after encountering this.
Well, there you have it, folks. A couple quick encounters to get us through the rest of the day into tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. Thank you for supporting the channel. It is your support, after all, that keeps this channel growing and going, and honestly what gives people a chance to share their experiences and theories judgment-free. Simply treated with the respect that we all deserve. Thank you. Please stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, pets, family, and friends. These creatures are real, they are out there and dangerous. Share this information with the people you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop asking questions, never stop searching for answers, and God bless.